here. For the first time I had this going, while you went to get the picture, I clicked my mic because my mic has a mute button on it.
Yeah.
So I clicked that the first time, and then I unclicked it, and I was just going.
I could hear like popping noises. And I was like, oh, that's so weird that the volume on his mic is just so low.
That's awesome. But yeah, so we're good to go now. So let's see here.
Okay.
So, you're going to like this too. I took some time this go around to make sure everything was working properly. So what I did was I have our Heroes Through Time. Almost caught me there. Heroes Through Time.
Throughout time.
Through time. Because we're traveling them through the decades. Through time.
Yeah, it's going throughout time. You know,
you can travel through time.
But, you know, whatever.
You're traveling through time. Shush. So I have a picture for Origins, for Asylum, City, and Night. And they're big pictures. So.
Awesome. Today we're just doing City, right?
Yeah, just City. Which I have a funny thing.
Awesome. I can give you till 8, then I got dinner with my fiance's parents.
Sweet. Okay. So we'll get this started.
Not really. We're going to some weird Hungarian place. I'm not a huge fan.
You do realize I'm already recording. This is going to be B-roll for the beginning of this, right?
Well.
I mean, by the time this comes out, it'll happen. It's like, what do you mean? You'll just start a big old fight. It'll be funny.
Oh, no, they're in the other room. They heard me. But
okay, good.
Oh, wait. I think if this is B-roll.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, Batman's back. Oh, it's Batman. Oh,
I will take you right off this thing.
I have to go do crime.
You have to go do crime? Okay, yeah.
Bye, Batman.
Crap.
Again, Batman does my taxes, so he's just hanging out.
Okay. So I will hit the live button now, so we'll be going recording real quick. So here we go. Not recording. Which is funny because that's a whole thing I want to talk to you about StreamYard. Hey, everybody, we are back finally for the second part of our Batman retrospective, which is part 2. I'm thinking of Night would be the next one. And, wow.
It is part 2 of our 3-part Arkham retrospective.
Yeah, when there are 4 games in the franchise.
Well, we did 3 parts because we put Origins and Asylum together.
I know, but we can't do math. Instead of doing 1 for each one, we just went 1, 2, 3.
Well, to be fair, a little behind the curtains, our first video was 4 hours with all 4 games.
Well, no, it was about the same amount of time as, 2 hours or so. Well, 3.5. It was almost 4. Yeah, it was almost 4. And I'm just kind of mad that it didn't record that way, because that would have been so awesome to have all of that, just uncut footage. But I can still kind of put all these together, which has been fun. So, we're talking Arkham City, the second game I ever pre-ordered, and I've went at length about that already. Went back and played it again. Almost said something really messed up there for a second.
Going back to our Comic-Con coverage.
No, we're not. I have learned, or at least I'm trying to. And I went back to play it, and here's a funny little thing. I'm going for 100%, which is something I haven't done for this game like ever. And there's one Catwoman trophy. It's really starting to piss me off. Do you
Which
know
one's that?
Okay, and we're gonna get into the missions and such later. But since this has to, let's do with the Riddler stuff because it's the bulk of the game anyway. But you remember where Mr. Freeze's wife is? Where Norfreeze is?
Yes, sir.
That building with that one trophy.
Mm-hmm.
That door is now locked to me.
Oh, because after the thing. Oh man.
Yeah, and no, I beat that mission.
That sucks.
Yeah, I beat that mission too. I beat that mission. Door's still locked.
Oh, that sucks.
And I've seen gameplay where you can go in there as Catwoman and Batman, no problem, and talk to Freeze.
Like I've done it because I have 100%. Again, 100% across all 4 games.
Yeah.
So,
which I'm like, I'm fine. That's fine. I'm not mad. Only a little. Because it's that one trophy will just stare at me. It's in like I'm getting like all the rest of them done too, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's
Yeah.
just
And to be fair, since we're just in open discussion about the Riddler stuff in Arkham City and stuff, I think this is the best version of the Riddler stuff where you're getting more trophies and you're unlocking the like saw rooms and stuff.
hmm.
But
I,
but I gotta say, some of the most bullshit riddles in the
oh yeah,
entire
oh
series.
yeah, oh yeah. Oh,
It's like
there was one I sent you that was such bullshit. You have to time each step, otherwise you gotta fuck up and go all the way back to the beginning. I'm like, what kind of
I'm
sadistic retard invented this
my
crap?
thing. Yeah. I don't know. Well, the Riddler, Mr. Edward Nigma.
No, Eddie Nash.
Oh, sorry.
Edward Nash. Get your facts straight, brother.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
I but I really enjoyed the Saw like
Oh yeah.
the Riddler stuff in this game. I think it's some of the best. The riddles are well for the most part.
Yeah.
I like the inclusion of more physical, actual doing stuff
Yeah.
and incorporating more of the gadgets.
I love that because there are a couple of them that really ticked me off. And it was like one of them was like, and you know the ones too that are like gated, but they
Yeah,
have like that four square type deal where you
yeah,
have to grapple up to the crane that's above you, then drop back down, land on this specific thing and nothing else, or you have to start over.
yeah.
Took me like 20 freaking tries.
That's the main thing. That's the moment that every Arkham player has with these. When you're going for that 100% and you're doing some of those gliding riddles and like stuff like that and they fall perfectly through,
Mm-hmm.
you get to a point where you're like, this isn't fun anymore. What am I doing? I love this game, but this
Yeah.
isn't fun.
It's like
But you power through just to see that 100%.
yeah, it's like Sex Bomb performing at the what's it called? Chaos Theater. We're not having no fun. We're not having no fun. No fun. No, 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 no. Okay. Uh, Side tangent, but it was worth it.
Worth it.
Anytime I can reference Scott Pilgrim, always worth it.
Oh, for sure. Underrated film.
Oh, perfect. But yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, which one was your favorite, either room or riddle in this whole thing?
My favorite riddle. I don't. It. I don't remember a lot of them specifically
That's
in
fair.
terms of the riddles. I really like the final Riddler room and stuff where you can't be seen by the guys who are being like carried or dragged along by the bombs and stuff.
Hmm.
I like that one. Mostly because it had the least gliding, and a lot of them were glide through here, off wall, go.
No, that's not
And
true. That's not true. You had the line launcher.
that's the thing. The line launcher is a gadget in both Asylum and
Oh,
City that I always forget I have, and I solved. I did like there was one of the Riddler rooms my first time through where I just forgot I got the line launcher,
wow.
and you technically needed it to get through, but I ended up like just cheesing and like Mario wall jumping with Batman wall glide and
You would
stuff.
be that. You would be
And my
that douchebag too. You really would.
and I no, I thought that was legitimately how you had to do it. And then I just happened to be a year later or something. I was over at a buddy's house and he was playing it and he was like, "Man, I just can't figure it out." And he's like, and then I tried to recreate what I did, and I'm like, "I can't do it, man. This is so hard. I can't believe that more people aren't complaining about this." And then he was just like, "Wait a minute." He pulled out the line launcher and got it in like 5 seconds. It was like, oh fuck yeah, no, that's the way we were supposed to do this. It made me very upset a year after the fact. How about you?
Good
What's your
job.
favorite room or riddle?
Um, my favorite, my favorite was one of them that just made me feel stupid for like 5 minutes because it took me till almost towards the end of like I'm getting the riddles to figure out how to get this one. And now there is a Excuse me. There's a Riddler, like you got to line it up just right, one of those things on like one of the
Yeah.
Arkham walls, and then there's like a body of water and a crane. But out of detective mode, you see this little green spot just sitting there floating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm throwing ice packs or whatever the fuck it's called. It's like those ice grenades. I'm like, bah, you're not freezing. Why aren't you freezing? And like a Neanderthal, I'm like, it's a crane, dude. Remote, yeah, you know exactly where this is going too. You had to remote
Yeah.
electric that thing, just drag it down, then drag it back up, and I was like, oh,
That was the
this
thing.
the
Those, sorry.
the simplest one, the simplest one to do. I looked up because I was so desperate of how to figure this thing out. Because I thought it was another one of the, it was like a secondary, like, can you line it up just right type riddle things.
Yeah.
I was like, how does this make any sense? And then it's like, no, you just drop the crane down.
I'll say
I looked that shit up.
that's pretty funny. It's at least you got a good sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
I'll say so this game introduced being able to like quick gadget with everything and stuff. And then there was a quick version of everything, like quick back claw, quick EMP blast and stuff. So I got very lazy about like using gadgets, and I just like hold down right trigger, hit B, and he just like to like fire the EMP thing, and I'd do that like 12 times rather than pulling it out and taking the shot and stuff. But the thing is, if you do that onto like just a quick one, it doesn't always like fully register that you've hit it. So there's so many times where I was like, I just got to hit faster. I got to go faster, faster, faster. Until eventually I'm just like, oh, fine. Pull it out. And then I get it right away.
It's like,
but I think
no, I was saying it's one of those. It's like fine, I'll play by the game's rules. Sorry.
The problem is the odd time that it lets you that you are able to get away with just like wham, 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 wham with it and stuff. It encourages you, and you're like, oh yeah, no, that's the way this game is meant to be played. Obviously.
Yeah, because Batman's not cheap at all.
That the EMP thing, and this could be a cool like segue into another thing. I think it represents such a cool evolution of his gear into this game.
Definitely.
Where in the last game, it was a lot more just like battering, and like occasionally you'd whip out the bat claw, but because there was no quick way to fire it, you had to go pull it out, hit Y, whole thing. But then with all the being able to add the quick combos and stuff just was such a cool and interesting way to completely change the combat that was already so perfect in a way that doesn't ruin it, but yet somehow still enhances it, which is so interesting because you find yourself being like, all right, punch this guy, fire off bat claw, pull him over. Then as I go over there, fire off a quick stun to the big guy there, so he starts going crazy and knocking a bunch of people around. Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, that was another thing I was kind of worried, I'm a little upset about, but we'll get to that more when it gets to the actual game. Or should I say the next game? But that was a lot of fun for me. And I sent you an image on Facebook. I'm going to put it up on the thing here, because I want everyone to see this mess. This should not happen. This is endgame. Yeah, I posted this on Twitter. I was like, how does this work? Because you got like a giant hole. I can see the hole. Like I can see like the building through the cape in more than one spot. And a section of the cape is just missing.
What? Here is what I say. So Batman doesn't make a big deal about it because he's a bat, so he's got to have the wings. the cape wings and stuff. But in between Asylum and City, he went over, hung out with Hawkman, gave him an nth metal belt.
I
His
swear.
belt is now an anti-gravity flying belt.
No.
But he's just so used to using the cape. That's what it is.
I refuse. I absolutely refuse that. That is bad, and you should feel bad.
All right. What's your explanation then for how he can still fly, other than because it's a video game?
I don't care. I'm just like, that should not work.
Well, I'm trying to build a universe here where Hawkman's out there.
And that's fair, and all props to you. I'm just like, no, that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. Anyway.
All right.
But yeah.
Zatanna came, magicked his boots.
Stop. Stop.
No, it's a magic cape. It's always a full cape, but then sometimes the holes, but there's always like a barrier around it of magic, so it's always wind resistant.
Just stop. Just no. Anyway, I just found that to be ridiculously funny.
It does really go with what we were talking about last week with you're saying it's double bulletproof. I can see your chest. That's where your heart is, Batman. It's right there.
Yep.
It's right there, Batman.
Yep. Oh, man.
But now it's like, ooh, you should not be able to fly.
You really shouldn't. It should be like, Neep.
No. But at the same time, I would be pissed if Endgame comes out and it's like, your cape's too fucked up. You can't do it, man.
Oh, I mean, like Mr. Freeze just froze the air in the friggin', what's it called, in the GCPD? Like that bullshit?
No, that was interesting.
Yeah, again, that bullshit.
It was an interesting way of getting around. I think that's it's creative, and when you play on hard and stuff, you have to do like
everything,
all of the different ways.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I think if you play on normal, you only have to do like 3 or 4. And it is interesting when you do the glide kick and stuff, and then Batman's like, he's frozen the air. I can't glide properly, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He has frozen the air. He's frozen the air.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
What does that mean, Batman?
It's like, what does that mean? Oh man, but yeah.
And like, if he can freeze the air,
how are you breathing?
I would walk into. Well, you didn't see that he pulled out from his utility belt one of those like,
of course,
the Jedi rebreathers from episode 1, and he just put it on.
That movie doesn't exist, so that technology doesn't exist. But okay.
It does. I don't know why, man. I'm in a weird mood. I'm excited. This is gonna be a good podcast.
It really is. It really will be. So yeah.
But if I'm Mr. Freeze and I can freeze the air, I'm sorry I'm going off of this. I am walking down to City Hall and saying, Mr. Quincy Sharp Mayor Man,
no.
I'm gonna freeze the air in this room. Unless you give me all the money. And Quincy Sharp was like, what? I can't give you the money. Boom, air's frozen. And then I unfreeze the air. And Quincy Sharp's like, never do that again. Please, never.
Stay on
target. This is the worst.
Stay on target.
I'm just saying.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
I would be a better
Stay on target
than Mr. Freeze.
Stay on target.
Just saying.
Stay on target. It's funny how now this. I know how this is. It's funny how this is reversed now because I'm just sitting here like, stay on target.
Oh, is it weird when someone just goes on tangents and don't mean anything for 7 minutes? Oh boy, it must be so hard being Travis. Oh,
stay on target.
I'm sorry. Do you want to keep going? Like I don't know if this is going to be good podcasting. I'm sorry.
This might just end up being B-roll until we start again.
All right.
Okay.
1 sec.
No! None of this. None of.
I'm ready to start the podcast now, Travis. Okay.
Okay.
If you could take this seriously, I'm trying to put on a show for our tens of fans.
Okay. Yeah. In either event. Um. Okay. So, Arkham City. Yeah. Okay.
Do you
So,
remember the trailers for this game? And just like that could be a good place to start.
I
Because
don't.
like they were the coolest thing.
I remember the teaser trailer came out. It was like you were going through like, well, I guess what now is like amusement mile or whatever. That's Steel Meal, I guess. And you're just going through. It's like people are getting thrown out windows. You got like the one of those like bumper cars just going in nowhere. Then did you see Joker like like almost dying? I'm like, whoa. You know, I remember that one.
Yeah. So I think it might have been the launch trailer or the trailer to say that you can now pre-order this game. But it's cut between a tiger guard like strapped down and getting interrogated by Hugo Strange and Batman beating up a bunch of tiger guards and stuff.
I
And
remember that
Hugo
one.
Strange is giving this whole monologue, and then eventually it's like, and I know that who you are, Bruce Wayne, Batman. And then Batman just looks up and is like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah,
Oh my God. This is so intense.
yeah.
And like, that's where we're starting. Because usually, if this was a movie or a comic book, like the big I know your secret would be like a cool second act reveal. But
Yeah.
the fact that we're just getting that out of the way in the trailer, you're like, there are some big things happening here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, man. Let's see. You want to start with some of the side quests before I go into the actual meat and potatoes of the story?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, there's plenty of them. I
Sure.
beat them all by now. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
except for the Riddler Trophy because fucking Catwoman.
It's okay. It's okay. We spent a lot of time talking about it. We'll talk about it off there. We'll get some tea. It'll be lovely. Okay?
Fine. I would love for this to happen. We talk about it here. I go back and play the game. It works just fine.
It could happen. You know what? If I had a nickel for every time something like that's happened,
I'd have a shitload of nickels.
probably wouldn't have any nickels. Probably wouldn't have any nickels. Never happened for me.
Oh,
Never happened.
I don't know. I just find it funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was it? So
So side quests.
yeah. Oh, before I get to the side quests, someone made a cameo in this game, which I forgot to unlock. Do you remember who?
I actually don't know who you're talking about.
It was in the tunnels under the steel mill. There was a gate separating the two of you. You tried hitting the big red button. Unless
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Killer Croc in the tunnels.
Oh my God! Yeah, the amount of times.
Yeah. I
As,
I forgot about it this go around, but I'm gonna try and do it the second for the new game plus. And speaking of which, since I usually do this, let me just jump one thing I noticed about gameplay. As soon as I got done with Asylum, I've always played these on hard, just because I'm already used to it.
Yeah.
Giant pain in the ass. But I noticed that the difference between Asylum and City is on hard, you get the prompts back, and combat is so much faster. Like, so much faster. Before it was like, dude,
Oh yeah.
dude. Now it's like, I'm like, oh shit. I was like, I was not prepared for this. I was not prepared for this. I kicked all the asses. I guess I was prepared for this.
I'm not ready. I want to go home.
Yeah, but it's like, and I started playing as Catwoman, and it's just like, I'm like, holy crap. Then you just get used to it, and you're like, okay. I was like, damn.
Yeah. And that's such an interesting way to start this game. And I get this is kind of inside mission territory though. With if you got the pre-order and stuff with Catwoman,
Not even the pre-order. We discussed this last time. Not even pre-order. Was if you bought it new.
Okay. Well, regardless, if you were able to play as Catwoman, it's such an interesting thing to start the game as Catwoman because you don't start as Batman or even Bruce Wayne. You start as Catwoman stealing something. What are you stealing?
You're
What are you
stealing
stealing?
a
Money?
No, you stole a chip which you put into your phone, which Harvey stole, which kind of kicks off why Catwoman is in the courthouse when you start the game as Batman.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I
But
remember
it's
this
so
stuff.
interesting because it's
It really is.
immediately, and I love that she's not just a carbon copy of Batman,
She has a whole different
that she
moveset.
plays completely differently.
She does. It's awesome.
And like you feel more vulnerable
Oh yeah.
as Catwoman.
I
Like,
mean, you have like 2 bars of extra health each. So
yeah.
yeah, kind of hard to pass that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Batman has 4, Catwoman has 2. Why?
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I love she's way quicker
Oh yeah.
and stuff. And I feel like I'm moving around a lot more.
Yeah.
And with Batman, I feel like you can get into sometimes the what I call the Assassin's Creed problem, where you're just standing there and waiting to hit Y to or triangle to counter.
Yeah.
So you're just like turtling and like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoosh, and you're just doing that. Whereas Catwoman, I found myself dodging a lot
Yeah.
more, and like I'm moving around a lot more. I'm jumping over guys. I'm trying to find the grates up top that I can like jump onto because I love just like going.
Yeah. That's great. But yeah, that was cool. What was it? I was going somewhere with this. Oh yeah, so side missions. Sorry. Um, one
So
of
this was the first game in the series that had side missions,
oh yeah, oh yeah. Other than the Riddler
and
trophies, but yeah.
yeah. What did you think of the inclusion of side missions, especially coming from Asylum, which was a very like straightforward point A to point B to point C, as opposed to because this game, like the other game was like kind of open world, but this is like you get into Arkham City and it's like
Yeah. Okay,
the world is yours.
so what you're talking about as far as I'm just gonna kind of repeat. I know I'm gonna reiterate, so bear with me here because it's what I do. Um, so essentially, it's like what you're saying is it's like Asylum was more objective heavy, and you got the riddles and trophies on the side. This is more you have options to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Again, I reiterate a lot. I'm not trying to make it sound dumber. It's just how I process it in my head, and I don't because I know it's like if I do that without context, I'll sound like a real dick. Just watch our Comic Con
that's
coverage.
okay.
You know, so I've just
Hates women, this guy.
I do
I'm just
not.
kidding.
I do not.
No, we just talked about how much you loved playing as Catwoman and stuff. So
Yeah, it was great. But yeah. Say, yeah, I love the inclusions of it because it was just like, and the smallest things too. Like if you were to go before you were going, before, one of the thugs knocks you out with a steel pipe. If you were to like look in that like walkway, look up on like one of the rooftop corners, you'll see Azrael, which is cool as Bruce Wayne.
oh, I've actually never noticed that.
I never
Really?
know. I never noticed it either until I watched the Super Gaming Brothers playthrough of it, and then they stop, and then they look up at the corner. It's like just past the little post. It's really cool.
I'm sitting in front of my TV and my Xbox, and I'm like, I could get to that point like before. Just sign in on an account that doesn't have the Catwoman stuff. I can be there in like 5 minutes. I want to see that. I
Yeah.
won't do that because I'm committed to this podcast.
Oh no, that's fine. It's like well, you were talking like a few minutes ago. I uploaded the picture to the OBS so I could have it just pop up there so I can see what I'm talking about. So that'll be funny.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. But yeah. So as far as those went, I was fine with them. Ones that really got on my nerves were the political prisoners and Zaz. Those got on my nerves.
I like they got on your nerves.
I mean, it's
What
like,
What do you mean by that?
okay, so it's like the political prisoners. Get your asses whipped. I don't give a crap. If I wasn't playing Batman, I'd let you die. I don't care.
Wow.
I don't care.
Wow.
I don't care.
Wow.
That's how much I don't care. Um, um,
Listen to this guy. You listen to this guy, Batman? Who does he think he is? He's letting people die.
but I didn't. I saved him all anyway. Oh, yeah. Anyway. But, and as far as the Zaz thing would go, it's like I would be right in the middle of something, like beating up some thugs. And then I hear a phone ring. I'm like, then I have that question of, do I continue with the story or do I take this asshole's phone call real quick? Knowing the phone will ring later.
Well, it's because you're in that moment, you're thinking as Batman, and you're like, if I don't pick up that phone in the next 30 seconds, someone will die. And that's on me. And you're like, but it is kind of annoying. You're like,
it's like
you're following like
no, it's like you take, because here's what happens to me. It's like you finally get to GCPD. You finally beat up that one armored thug you saved for last because that guy's an asshole. You beat the guys with the shields, all this other shit. You finally beat him down for like 10, 15 tries. For me, that's on hard, so don't judge me. And then all I hear is this ringing noise. And then you hear just the phone ring. I'm like, I am not dealing with this asshole. Not you. Wait. I'm like, there have been like I can count like 5 or 6 times. I've looked at the phone going, you wait your turn. I'll get to you. I gotta talk to Freeze real quick. I'll get to you.
We are very different. I hear that phone ring. Nothing else matters. I'm going for that phone.
I mean, that's
immediately. But also, I enjoy that because I enjoy like the traversal and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Now, the amount of times there's one, I think it's the second phone that rings. The location to find it is like under an overpass and like under another thing. So the amount of times I've been standing on top of the phone and like, where is it?
It's like, I can see you as Batman. Alfred, where's the phone? I'm right over top of it. Where's the phone? Where are you? I'm on an overpass. It's under it. Impossible. There's water. I can see it.
But the amount of times that's happened to me as Batman, and then Zaz comes up and is like, hey, you let them die, Batman.
Like, I'll take my time. After all, you took yours. I'm like, I couldn't find the phone. Leave me alone. Oh, man.
Oh. Yeah. Zaz is a character who we didn't talk about at all in our last episode.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Despite having...
I mean, he was in it for like that long. It's like, it was like, if you throw a batarang, you're done. He's done. You glide kick, you throw a batarang, and he's done.
Yeah. And that's why I'm not like, oh, why didn't you talk about Zaz? But it's someone who I love Arkham City, but I wish that they had given Zaz a more meaty side quest, or at least like a boss fight.
He was a boss fight. You learned how to do the grapple stuff, and you glide kicked him.
Well, no, I'm talking about in this
beat him. Oh, okay, in this game, okay.
Because you just sneak up on him, break the glass, and you're done.
Yeah.
But there should have been like you do that, then you guys roll or something, and then it's like, I'm gonna get you, Batman.
And then it's like, and then you struggle against it. I got you.
Yeah,
that would have been cool, but it's like, it also would have been unnecessary because, it's like unless you're
playing a video game, everything's unnecessary.
Well, that's true. Clayface was unnecessary. Spoilers.
We will get to that in the meat of the story. Why do you hate good storytelling? That's so... Whoa.
I'm just poking at the bear. I'm just having fun at this point.
Oh my God. I'm not. I'm already not excited for the next podcast where it's just like, and this is my 22-step thesis on why Arkham Knight is the best game ever, and it cures cancer.
I never said it did that, but I never said it didn't. So there you go.
So you said those were the side quests that like bothered you the most.
Yeah.
Did you have any like standout ones that you really liked?
Um. Oh, wait, I'm at a third one to that list because the three that bothered me the most were friggin' Mad Hatter. Pissed me off.
Yeah.
It was just like there was no point. It's like, okay, you put a mask on his face, and then, and he just beat up a bunch of goons. I'm like, I can't hit you, but you disappear like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
And it's just so clear that they were like the Scarecrow bits were the most popular part of the last game.
Oh yeah.
We need to have something like that in this, but we don't want to use Scarecrow again.
Right. Which, by the way, I loved his little thing too because I got that ship. It's all first person. You go over there, you see this thing on the ground, and by the way, the guy has his suit, so you just don't know where Crane is. So
yeah,
but I found that cool. I'm surprised there was like no Riddle in there either. That would have been great to have a Riddle in there.
Well, that's the point, right? Like it's not. This is not Riddler's thing. This is Scarecrow's development towards Arkham Knight, right?
Yeah, I guess. I just found it funny because I was like, missed opportunity. Because for all of those who just had that one riddle that would drive them nuts, like where do I find this thing? And it would just float over that boat anyway. It would just drive them nuts, which it would have been funny. But I'm happy they didn't go that way. Just like with the Quincy Sharp Warden's office too. In Asylum, yeah. But anyway, let's see. What did I like? What are the ones I liked?
You got Bane tracking down all the Titan that's left in the world, getting to fight alongside him.
That was light work.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
It's tracking down Nora.
Again, light work. Deadshot was like the most annoying because it's like, you went to the one like victim who's like on the overpass or whatever. That's like Deadshot ricocheted this bullet off of that wall, and he shot through that water tower. I'm like, bruh, how? No one cares. Just find the damn bullet. just find the guy. No one cares.
Hey, Batman cares. Batman cares.
Like I said, no one cares. Just
I care.
Shut up. No one's talking to you. Thank you.
Finally, we have some privacy. Like, here's this guy.
Rude.
Doing.
Oh my gosh. Oh, man.
I gotta say, I was a big fan of the Azrael stuff.
That was fun.
Because I actually don't think that any of the side quests in this game, I don't think any of them are super strong. I think they all, well, most of them have really cool thematic and like storytelling moments.
Yeah.
But lack that finish none of them finish super strong.
Yeah. It's like
Azrael's thing finishes, you put all the symbols on and it's like, you're going to die. It's going to burn. Whereas I almost feel as though. Sorry?
No, I was saying, and Azrael's like, there needs to be a new Batman. When that day comes, call me.
When that day comes, I will either hit B or I will hit X.
Or I will just leave.
X, get off the computer.
Yeah.
That's my. You're not in this game, Dexstar. You're in the Lego game.
Oh
Not in
gosh.
this game. All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like all of them needed some stronger way to finish. Like, I
Oh
think,
yeah.
with the exception of like tracking, I think the tracking down all the venom with Bane, I actually really liked, and I think ended pretty
Oh
nicely with
yeah.
locking him up.
But you know what's really funny for me though? You know what I did? It's like, and here's how much of an asshole I am as Batman. It's like I sprayed like all three of them, not knowing if I needed it or not. And then it's like I didn't blow them up yet. I walked all the way to Bane, stood in front of him, just went click. I'm like, I'm that much of a douche. I'm just like, you don't want me to do it? Don't want me to do it? I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I did it. It's like click.
Oh,
It's like oh. Yeah.
oh, it slipped.
Oh, but here's the funny thing though. I did that at the end, and when you're during the story, it's Tiger Guards. When you're after the story, it's Joker. Or it's a bunch of goons.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that is also something I really like about Arkham City as a city, and it's something that's a carryover from the last game. Is the further you get into the story, every little bit changes. Like there'll be a slightly different way that Deadshot or the people you're saving from Deadshot are how they talk to you, and Azrael's like, "Fuck, can you believe the fucking fire? The guy they were shooting helicopter was shooting at us.
Yeah.
It's crazy."
Yeah.
That's something I really like. And then also what you're saying, where the more you play, you start seeing more and more start seeing more helicopters up in the sky because the Tiger Guards are looking for Batman more.
Yeah.
And it's not just a line of dialogue saying this is happening, you're actually seeing it happen.
And here's another funny thing too. And I didn't know this at first, but it's like I took my electro whatever, the gun thing, the
Yep.
electro ball. I took it and shot it at the helicopter a couple of times before like Protocol 10. The light went red and it started shooting me. I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Oh, that's how that works."
Wait, they can't shoot back. I am the protagonist of this game.
From a certain point of view. Anyway, yeah.
I think from all points of view.
You'd think. Anyway, so there was that. What other ones were there? Hush was a little annoying to me. It's like most of these were just annoying. Cause like you had to look for certain things. I'm like, dude, I don't want to look around for a dead body. I don't want to do that. I'm bored. It's like you got to look for three different bodies for three different locations, and then you had to track where all this stuff went and talk to a certain dude. It's like it looked like Bruce Wayne. Whatever.
Honestly, Hush is another one where like you get to the house, you get locked up. Hush comes in, is like, "I'm Bruce Wayne now," and then he leaves, and it never gets addressed until night. But it's like there should have been a boss fight or something there.
Yeah, there should have been something, definitely. What's another one I'm thinking of? Nora was there. The AR challenges were actually kind of fun. Frustrating as all hell, but they were fun. You got to learn you got to learn how to glide. You're like, okay, cool. Then there's that one I did at the Funhouse, because I didn't in reverse order. I went 4, 3, 2, then 1. It's like after I got the glide boost. Which, by the way, we'll talk about that in a second. That pissed me off. Because it's like there's not one by the Funhouse. It's the first one you would have done if you were doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it was just if the last one if you're doing it in reverse order. I didn't reverse order. You go up, you go down, then you have to go through this little itty bitty hole, and I'm like, yeah, I finally got it. I was like, then you get it, you're like, yes, I am the Batman. Oh shit, they're goons! And they have guns! No!
No gun! Bullets, my one weakness.
other than knives and actual physical damage. No.
No.
And like a moron, I got all the health stuff last.
Oh,
So I was like,
I immediately go for that.
oh no, I wanted to give myself the hardest difficulty. Like there's hard difficulty, then there's the moron route where you just get health last. That's what I did.
Or super hardest, you never upgrade anything unless it's story required.
I like my what's it called?
Sanity?
Well, yeah, that. But I like the combo to where it's like the disarm combo. If you remember this one, where like you would take like a baton, break it in half, or take a stick,
Yeah.
yeah, that whole thing. Or you take a shield and you kick it to where they can't use the sumbitch no more.
I like,
You know, though the
if I'm
useful
remembering
things.
correctly, yeah, that was always the first thing you do. You find the guy with the shock baton, and you're like, "You motherfucker, I'm coming for you.
It's
I'm
like,
gonna build up my combo. Then I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna hit A and B, and I'm gonna take that gun. I'm gonna take it away from you. It's gonna go away now."
yep. Yeah, that's basically how it was. For me, it's like I would always jump over those guys to a combo, but when it came to the shield guys, I was really cheesy about it. I'd use that quick deploy explosive gel, wait for them to go away,
Yeah,
and I mean, boom. I'm like, all right, no more problem. All right, cool, done.
yeah.
No problem.
The best the best upgrade in the entire game, and now we're just talking about like mechanical stuff, is
Well,
the back claw upgrade,
yeah,
where you can grab their weapons and like pull them in. That is
yeah.
the best stuff, especially when you get lucky and are able to like instead of a gun, it actually grabs like the shock baton and stuff, and it's like, haha. But then you got to remember, all right, there's 3 shock batons over there. You see someone going over there. That's target 1.
That's like anytime anyone goes for a weapon, I'm like, put it down. It's like I just elbow him in the head. No, stop that.
We are fighting with our fists and batarangs and bat claws and other bat themed apparel. That's the rules. I didn't make the rules, but we're only using fists and bat stuff.
It's like that one kid you play. Batman is that one kid who like we always play like the imaginary games, and he's the only one who can have weapons, like a jerk. you know exactly what I'm talking about too.
I have a gun that breaks force fields.
It's like, yeah, well, it's like, I brought my attack dog with a built-in force field. Yeah, well, I brought my dinosaur who eats force field dogs.
Toy Story 3.
And 1, actually. Toy Story 1 and 3.
That's true.
Yeah, that was great, though. That was great. I love that. Anyway.
Good time.
Good.
But Batman.
Yeah, but Batman, no. What's it called? So that's another thing I liked. One of my favorite upgrades, which is always fun for the stealth stuff, is that heat concealer. I guess is the best way to put it. Because like you won't be detected by heat sensors if you're on a gargoyle.
Yeah,
that's sweet. I was like, oh, cool.
Doesn't make much sense, but
it's like he's the first guy I go for anyway, so I'm like, I can just take my time.
Yeah,
but then it's like he's that one guy you have to interrogate, so you have to avoid him at all costs. I'm like, son of a bitch, which makes it even more hard.
The best thing for that is you get Mr. Freeze's grenade, and you're like, green guy, you're frozen.
Poof. Yeah. And matter of fact, it was funny. I just got the what's it called? The trophy for using like all of the gadgets in like one fight. So I was like, sweet.
That's tough because you end up knocking out too many of them so quickly.
Oh no, I didn't even use them on people. I just kind of went batarangs, electroshock, grenade, the explosive gel. And I was like, I just used them all kind of quick because it's just all quick fire stuff. Like in the first couple of seconds, I'm like, oh, cool, trophy. Okay, now all of you die. It's like, take a trophy, unpause, all of you die. So.
I don't die. I don't kill. Batman's back.
Gosh darn it. Anyway, it's like all of you are going to be unconscious. Actually, you do kill because But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You do kill because you hang him upside down, and then you cut him down from like 30 feet in the air, and he lands on his head. That motherfucker dead.
Well, no. Coma for life. And Gotham, you're not allowed to pull the plug in Gotham. So these, not death. Not death.
What, he was lawyer?
No, he does my taxes. We've been over this.
Yeah. Anyway. What's it called? But yeah, moving on. So I think we're good with as far as what we want to talk about as far as mechanics and everything else goes. Side missions. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this story, though. This story was fun. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was fun.
So many twists and turns.
Oh,
just
yeah.
So, and I don't mean like, whoa, shocking revelation, but just so weaving perfectly through everybody.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. It's like one thing that kind of bothered me a little bit was and I guess you can make the case to where it's like it's not Joker who did it, so of course the one he has would be imperfect, but the Penguin Titan Thug is imperfect. He's got the skinny one side and he's got the skinny one leg, but he's got like everything else all big. I'm like, okay.
To be fair, Penguin is one of the few Batman villains, and I just realized this I was reading through an old Batman comic a couple weeks ago, and I realized like 90% of Batman's villains have PhDs in something, mainly chemistry.
Yeah. And it's like friggin' Harley's the one who has like a friggin' PhD in psychology or some shit, which is always funny.
Yeah. Penguin is just a mobster. He doesn't know how to properly mix the Titan.
No, it's fair. It's just
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Technically, neither did Joker. That's why a couple of them died.
Well, that's just trial and error, but Joker is like a brilliant chemist. You'd have to be to make like Joker gas, venom and stuff, right?
Wait,
Joker gas and venom.
I was about to say, did you call him or did you call him the chemist, or a? No, he said a chemist. Okay, because I was about to say he doesn't look like Barry Allen to me.
That's the scientist if you're going for the Arrow title.
No, that was the chemist. I just watched that season. It's the chemist.
I would bet you anything it's the scientist.
It's the chemist. I'm telling you right now.
You talk about the story for a second.
Okay.
This is important.
So yeah. So one of my favorite things in this game was as far as story goes, was the different like villains you came up against, because it wasn't just immediately Joker like it was in the first game, or it wasn't just thugs immediately like in the first game. It was first Two-Face and his goons. But then it was like then you moved on from Two-Face to friggin' the all
right,
Siamese.
Can we talk about Two-Face for a second?
Okay.
So cool.
Oh yeah.
Two-Face in just like the whole I love that he's the first like villain that it's like Harvey would be in the courthouse, and he's taken down the courthouse over the courthouse and somehow gotten a vat of acid to the middle of the like proceeding area, and just has Catwoman all tied up, and you go and you got to fight through and stuff, and then the cutscene, the fight ends with him shooting you because you haven't upgraded to bulletproof yet.
No. I'm not shaking my head at that. I'm shaking my head at this. This is not what I was referring to. This is not what I was referring to.
Oh, what were you referring to?
It was when it was in the last season of Arrow, this past season of Arrow, when it was elongated man. I forget his real name. But anyway,
Ralph Dibny.
When it was Dibny and Barry went down to this like underground what's it called?
Oh, the black market. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Now I get what you're saying.
that's what I was saying. The chemist. You were talking about the actual episode,
Okay,
which
then
I'll give you. No, no, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
That's fair. You're talking about the actual episode. I'm talking about the
we're
actual.
both right.
Yeah, it's just I'm more right
Well,
because I
no,
knew what
we're
the.
actually talking two totally different things, but we're both right.
Yeah, I'm more right, but it's okay.
Well, I was right about what I thought I was right about. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah,
the
but yeah,
cutscene starts with you getting shot. Batman gets shot.
bang, overruled.
Oh, so cool.
By the way,
Now that would. Sorry.
no, I was about to say. By the way, that whole like cutscene before, it's like they reveal Catwoman. It's like you really know how
Yeah.
to keep a girl hanging, Harv. You just hear me on the couch go, boo.
And you hear me in Canada. That's a lovely pun. A lovely pun. Big fan. Big fan.
But here's a funny thing.
Um,
Before he get now, fast forwarding a bit till after you beat up all the goons, you will hear Batman say objection. But if you're crouching behind something, Harvey doesn't shoot you, so you can sit there for a good 5 minutes and just be like,
that's funny.
I,
Now,
it's like I just clear the boxes. Boom, overruled. I'm like,
him saying overruled would be the coolest line in this cutscene and maybe in the whole game.
it
If
was
5 seconds later he didn't have an even cooler line where Catwoman breaks out of her stuff, takes the gun away from Harvey, and is like, "No gun, Harv." And he pulls out a second gun.
two guns, bitch.
Me and my so when this game was first like in the lead up to this game, they released the first 12 minutes of the game of gameplay, which cut out all the Catwoman stuff at the beginning of the game and getting taken into Arkham. It just like started essentially with the
Batman.
courthouse.
Yeah, it just started with Batman.
Yeah, and then it ended with two guns, bitch. So my friend sent me the 12 minutes and he was like, watch the whole thing. This was like, what was it? When did Arkham City come out? Like 2010? 2011? Something like that.
It was
So
after,
this is...
It was after Toy Story 3 came out, I can tell you that. I was in high school, so it was about 2013, I would say, give or take. Because that sounds about right.
Okay.
2013.
Yeah. But so we're coming up, so 6, 7 years later, me and my friend still, if ever someone says like, "Oh, what you gonna do now?" we will still look at each other and say, "Two guns, bitch." And
Nice.
Even if it doesn't refer to anything we're doing, like we just had Canadian Thanksgiving a couple weeks ago, and we had friend Thanksgiving, and I was cooking, and one of my friends came in and was like, "Well, we didn't bring the specific veggies. What are you gonna do now?" And I had those veggies, and I looked at my friend, and I said, "Two guns, bitch." And I pulled out the veggies.
Nice. Very nice.
Fun little anecdote.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that two guns, bitch, was given its due. And I just got a text from my in-laws saying, "Why do you keep saying two guns, bitch?" So that's cool. That's fine.
That's great.
They play video games.
That's great. That's great.
They play video games.
That's fine.
Anyway,
Yeah.
But you're talking about how like
2011.
Oh,
2011. Sorry, 2011.
2011?
Yeah.
So yeah, 9 years. So almost 9 years, we're still saying two guns, bitch. That is how no one talks about that line enough. People don't say that enough. I'm gonna start saying it more.
You'll get a lot of people looking at you weird.
Well, yeah. Like my cat is right now because I told him to stop doing that.
There. Yeah. But yeah.
So just moving on, like Two-Face. It was so cool how the first game is really just Batman versus Joker.
Yeah.
This game goes through well, not all of the rogues, but like so
A
many, and
majority.
it
A majority.
like there's like 9 million Batman villains. So let's not say a majority.
There's not 9 million. There's not, because I've seen the opening to the Batman, and it has all of the rogues in one picture, and it's not a majority. Yeah, I know exactly who it is.
I'm just saying, Penny Plunderer was not there,
Oh my
so
god.
it's not canon.
Get off it! Get
I'll
off
talk
of the
about.
petty plunder. Stop it.
I'll never. I will take. I won't let him be forgotten. Okay, they have retconned his one thing, the giant penny, to have come from Two Face. I know the truth. The truth is out there.
Okay, X
Stay
Files.
on target.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we get back on topic here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's so cool how all of these villains, and none of them feel forced. They
Oh no.
all like have such an important thing in the story.
Yeah. And I find it's a nice little thing to kind of get back to, because it's like the last person you heard of in Arkham Asylum was Two Face, and then first person you meet, other than no, actually no. Even if you're playing as Catwoman, it's Two Face.
Huh. I've never made that connection. That like
I know it's
that
not.
is really cool.
I mean, I know it's not like immediately after. Otherwise, it'd be taking place in Gotham. But it's there.
No, it's 8 months later, I think.
Something like that. But
I'm pretty
anyway,
sure Joker says that
yeah.
while you're trying to die. If you're anything like me, while you're sitting in the bell tower filled with explosives, being like, "How do I get out of here?"
Oh no, I saw that to begin with, and I left way too early, which is another thing I thought was like so funny. Um, and it was just like, oh my gosh, it was so cool, because it's like 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm like, nope. Before he could get to 5, I just left. I was like, I'm good. But then it's like, then you just stay there and you hear the whole thing. I was like, oh, this is the thing. Good to know. Get out of there now. Okay, now I leave.
I was under the impression that that's just how everyone played the game. Then through talking to people,
Batman left.
he had to go fight crime. I know.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
But I was because I was like, "There's no way I can't get out. I would have to dive through the window."
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, I'm pretty sure it says like double tap A or X or whatever it is,
Yeah, it's
and
like
for whatever reason,
left stick and double X to move, to jump.
for whatever reason, was just under the impression I was like, "Oh, it's telling me to like hang up on Joker or something, or like defuse the bombs." So I was just like, "No, what am I doing? I'm turning on detective vision. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm Batman with his head cut off."
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, so you survived that experience, barely. And where's the first place you go after that? I forget. Arkham Knight's.
You go to the. I think you go to the steel mill after that, because it's pretty early on that you get.
Yeah, because Batman and Alfred have that. Have you tried the front door, sir? Well, that'd be too easy.
Yeah,
Of course. No, suicide through the what's it called? The tower. Well, okay then. And you just dive bomb. And I love the fact that the villains learn their lesson, because after that moment, the smokestacks are always on now.
yeah.
I love that.
That's another awesome thing about this game, right? Is that it really does feel like a city, a living, breathing city where things are changing and these characters are existing and reacting to what you as the player or as the Batman are doing.
Yeah.
Because far too often it would just be like, well, I go down the smokestack. That's how these things go. That nothing will ever change. But in this game, it's so smart because it's like that's not going to work twice.
Yeah, of course not. Why would anyone ever do anything twice? I mean, it's not like, Arkham Origins, I guess. Or not Arkham Origins, but Arkham City, where you have the same one, same, like, solve every time. It's not like that at all.
So, what do you think? So, once you get to the steel mill and stuff, I'm just skipping to the next like big
Oh
story
yeah,
beat
that's fine.
here.
That's fine. It's fine. We're not gonna
Is
dissect this thing. That'd take longer than we got.
yeah, is when Joker gets your cell phone number essentially, and
Oh, if
and
you're going
knocks
that
out.
if you're going that far, let's rewind a second because you forgot somebody really big, literally.
Oh, one arm.
Yeah, Mr. Hammer. Yeah,
There we go. There's Mr. Hammer and Mr. Sickle.
yeah. I didn't put that together that they were both Russian, even with the accents, until I put together Hammer and Sickle. I didn't put
Well,
that together. Oh
you
no.
probably assumed Russian, bad guy, obviously.
Oh yeah, I knew that, but I didn't put their weapons choices together until like a week ago. And I've
uh,
played this game since it came out in 2011, and I didn't put it together. And I was like, oh,
oh my god.
boom, yeah. I started
Obviously.
laughing one day, and I was like, "That's funny." And then it's like he would laugh at something. It's like I'm the kind of guy who laughs at something and then gets it. I'm like, Hammer and Sickle, they're Russian. Oh my god, they're Russian. That's why they have the hammer and sickle. Oh my god. But yeah, that was funny. Okay, now you can fast forward to when Joker basically kicks you out a window in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and just like the fact that
He duct tapes a cell phone to your chest.
well,
I'll
I'm just talking
be
about like
touched.
just the fact that he has, and this is what eventually gets escalated into Arkham Knight, where Joker is spoilers just in your head
Oh yeah.
and stuff the entire time. But him constantly being able to just like check in on you and be like, "Hey, Bats, what's going? What's Mister Freeze doing? What are you doing dealing with that guy right now?" And him just providing commentary
But you know
to
what's
like, well, hope you figure this one out, Batman and stuff is so perfect. It makes it almost like a buddy movie
yeah,
with
buddy cop.
Batman
Yeah.
and Joker.
But you know what's really
Except one of the buddies is never there.
yeah. What's something really funny though? My first playthrough of this, I never listened to the voicemails.
Oh my god, you're like
I
I
know
would
I was dumb.
get see like
Now it's like new voicemail from Joker. All right, let's see what you guys say. It's like, and then I can let it
constantly.
play. Now I let them play, and I was like, "Do you know how to hide a secret from the world's greatest detective? Huh? Do you know? You stick it right under his big pointy nose, and wait."
And that thing that comes up, that's a plot point. It's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. But I love it's like if you didn't listen to it, they're good enough to like replay that as you're connecting it. Like in the meantime, like while the system, while like the computer was not computer, but like while the game was like turned off, Batman listened to it in the background for you. So it's like that played
Yeah.
like it played again, which is fine. I'm like, cool, you know. But it's even funnier because it's like,
It's
no, continue.
oh, I'm saying like it's so cool, and I love also that this Joker is clearly fucked up from what happened in the previous game and
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Mm.
it's weird to say Joker is emotionally scarred by what happened, but when you listen to all his voicemails and stuff, he really seems broken up about the fact that Arkham didn't go the way he planned on. He's just
Yeah,
like,
it's like
"Hey, you left me for dead, Batman. What
yeah,
was up with that?"
it's like even in the thing, it's like, well, it's like it's been how long? Well, there was the asylum, there was some monsters, and oh yeah, you left me to die. I was like, well, you may not remember it that way, but you know, I'm like, okay, am I supposed to
I was like,
care? Whatever.
I was like, I definitely don't remember it that way. I saw the end of the game. You were on a stretcher going to the hospital.
Yeah, you were fine. Your face was all fucked up, but you were fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But beyond that, though,
Oh,
let's see what else was there. Next thing after that was, if I'm not mistaken, you went to the GCPD. Yeah. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
either
you went to
that
the you
or
went to the
Penguin.
GCPD because that's where it was coldest. And then one of Penguin's men, you interrogated one of Penguin's men, and then it's like then you went over to the museum, and then you had to disable all three of them jammers.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
that is the thing. There are a lot of things in this game where they are just momentum killers.
Yeah.
Where you're trucking along, you're doing great, you're doing awesome,
And then
and
Penguin's
then
got like
it's like,
three jammers. What the fuck?
what? Why did there need to be three?
Oh,
All right,
but one of my favorite conversations happens though when you're at that third one. It was like, oh, what was it? It's two penguin goons. It's like you're right up behind him, like in that subway tunnel thing. He's like, "Are you sure these things can work underground?" It's like, "Yeah, I read the manual. You should be fine." He goes, "You read?" He goes, "What?" He goes, "You read?" "Yeah, I read." Guy just looks at him. Porn don't count. I'm like, bruh. I was like, bruh. And then you just knock them both out, and it's fine.
that is.
No, but
I want to just like latch on to something you're saying there. The conversations that the goons are
oh yeah,
having
are
just
just
throughout the
awesome.
city
Yeah,
are so good.
yeah, and it's even funnier because it's like a couple of the goons start taunting each other about Batman. It's like, yeah, last time I saw Batman, he broke my arm and three of my ribs. He goes, "Oh, you afraid of the big bad bat?" He goes, "You would be too. Shut up." He goes, "No, I've been lifting. I've
My
been pretty
thing.
jacked." You know, it's funny the conversations you hear, and you're like, "You hear that, Batman? I ain't afraid of
The,
you." As soon as I hear that line, I look for that dude and beat the tar out of him. It's like, "What'd you say?"
that because it tells you there it's like 120 meters away. I'm like, all right, Talia Ninja,
Hold up.
wait,
Actually, no.
wait.
It's like I hear that when it's like when I'm not chasing somebody. It's like, yeah, I ain't scared of Batman. What's this? It's like I'm gliding through the air. It's like I ain't scared of Batman. Left turn. It's like let's go deal with you right quick. Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
And
Uh,
as a big fan of Lost, I appreciate that you can find two goons in the world arguing about the ending of Lost and whether or not it makes sense.
really?
Yeah, there's two. I'm gonna spoil Lost right now. They're gonna be there's two guys, and one's like, "Yeah, I just saw it." So like they were dead the whole time, and the other guy's like,
Oh,
"No, you moron, that's not how it ended." And then he starts going on to this whole other thing that's also wrong, and I'm like, first of all,
I didn't pay attention to that much. I just kind of I just glided right past it.
how did you get? Do you guys have cable in Arkham City? How are you watching Lost?
Well, there are TV shops in there, so you know. And it was
Yeah,
on
but who
basic.
are they paying cable bills?
It's on ABC. It's like basic channels. I
I don't
think.
know, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
Last I checked, it was basic, so probably not anymore since Disney likes to own everything. Anyway, um,
ABC already owned Disney. Disney already owned ABC at that point.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like that's a whole other conversation where we gotta get back on track here. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah. I love so now that we're into Penguins thing, and are we are at the shark yet?
oh, the shark. Uh, okay, so that was the third and final jammer. So then you go into the friggin' thing, and then you see the
Yeah.
T Rex. You see this freaking T-Rex go,
Oh,
and then just kind of break down. Be honest, did that scare the crap out of you the first time?
a little bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm a big baby. Yeah.
Big. Yeah, never mind. Anyway, I wasn't gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. Anyway, but yeah, that was funny because I was like, oh, cool, dinosaur. I'm gonna go around this. You know.
I believe this is also the spot you first encounter like the really jacked up big guys, or like the armored ones
Yeah,
who
you
you have
do.
to like rip their armor off.
No, you don't rip their armor off. You do a cape stun, and then you just beat the holy hell out of them. You just like beat up their rib
That's
cages. I was like, oh, this is fun. I'm doing body. I'm doing these body shots. I'm like, Rocky Balboa got nothing on me. Just going body shot.
I
Body
love
shot.
also how those combos start because you do like the triple capes stun, and then it goes like boom, 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 and has like build up. The first couple are always like real slow
It's like,
and like meteor.
yeah. It's just.
And I love having that guy stunned,
It's like,
and then someone comes in behind you, and you're like, "Gotta counter this guy. 1 sec. Break your leg. All right, back to this."
No, it's like this guy's still stunned. Takedown. This guy takedown. You know, it was fun. But yeah.
Yeah.
But then you meet the cops. Yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah. Then you rescue those cops, and you're walking on this thin ice, and you're like, okay, I'm going to this cop. It's fine. I saved this one cop. We're cool. I go to the second cop. And then a shark just jumps out the water. Like, holy hell. It's like, oh, you met my pet Tawny.
Terrified me.
Yeah, I figured. It's like, oh, you met my pet Tawny. I'm like, you asshole. By the way, we're going to fast forward for just a second here. Did you ever die to that shark?
No.
Okay. So on the raft, if you were to die on the raft, the hint says, use your, shark repellent bat spray, and it has in
that's
great. Yeah, then it has in brackets just basically just mash the square button. Just use a beat down.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's as a big fan of 66 Batman, I love that.
And even better is freaking what is it? It's if you're crawling around through Riddler, wait there for like half a second or so. You'll hear Riddler go, what if I use sharks? Oh no, he'll have some kind of like spray, or he'll have something for that. I'm like, you already know. Which I thought was the funniest thing.
I see you, Rock City.
Yeah.
You've seen the movies. You've seen the TV show.
Yeah. So yeah, getting back on topic here. Which order did you do these two rooms first? Because for me, that order kind of matters.
I don't have like a distinct order that I do it in. I just do is legitimately which way is Batman facing when it comes out.
Yeah, of course. Because it's like one of the things is it's like if you do freeze before you do the cops room.
Yeah.
What'll happen is you'll talk to freeze, and then you'll just merge like two cutscenes together, and it's like really choppy and it's really off-putting. Because it's like,
really?
You'll talk to Freeze first, get his suit or whatever, and then go all the way, then go to the other side, jump on back, and you're just like, so that's the free. It's like it's like, yeah, you're talking to the cops for whatever reason. It's like, so that's the Freeze suit, huh? It just, if like you get like that long of gameplay, then it's like, so that's the Freeze suit, huh? Yeah, just you. It's like, wait, after I leave, wait 10 minutes, bring this over to him. He won't be dangerous. I'm like, whatever. I was like, okay, that's a little weird.
He won't be dangerous.
Yeah.
Batman. Well, I guess to be fair.
No, it's just his coolant thing, so he doesn't have his suit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Which I thought was really savage of Batman. When you save, by the way, after you beat Sickle, which is some bullshit. Also, before I go any further, again in my own head, if you do the Riddler thing before you do this, here's what happens. One of them dudes, one of the normal goons, is a Riddler goon.
Yeah.
So you have to beat the Riddler, the non-Riddler goon, and Mister Sickle, then beat the other guy.
That sounds like a new game plus problem, if I'm being totally honest.
It
That
sounds like
sounds like
a
I want all my cannons.
it sounds like a you fucked up this order kind of problem right there. I was like, son of a
Yeah.
bitch. I got so mad. I beat that guy twice. I was like, restart. Damn it! Restart. And then I finally beat it and I was like, okay, cool.
That's fun.
That's hilarious.
Um,
So yeah.
I really like the. I'm going to kind of push a couple things
Oh, go ahead.
together here just for the sake of time.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
really like the portrayals of all of the villains in
Oh
this
yeah.
game, specifically Penguin and Freeze.
Yeah.
I love I love Penguin's secondary introduction because like his introduction to Batman because he obviously starts the game and he's like, "Oh, Bruce Wayne, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you."
Right. You get the
And he
brass
breaks
knucks.
his hand.
It's like he doesn't even a punch in. He just like breaks his hand. Ah, I think it's broken my bloody hand. And then you just break out of your cuffs. You're just like, let's do
Yeah,
this. You're like, let's go. All right, who next? You start kicking ass. He's like,
which to
now,
be fair, all of those guys know it's like well, obviously Bruce Wayne's Batman. Like, did
oh
you
yeah.
see he did not one but 17 backflips while he was fighting us?
Actually, no, you don't do flips like that. You just kind of like counter and attack is what happens. You don't like just jump over them and do like dodges and such. It's just counters and
To be
strikes.
fair, to be fair, if I saw Bruce Wayne doing that and then that same day Batman showed up, I'd probably be like, well, Bruce Wayne is definitely Batman.
Yeah, but no thug's gonna
Like,
believe you. Like no one's gonna believe a thug. You know.
that's fair. That's fair.
But it's even funnier.
But I love. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I gotta ask you this: when you go up, do you leave him conscious or unconscious?
No, I live in conscious.
Oh, after I beat up his goons, I walk right up to him going, "You want to punch me in the face some brass knucks, huh?" Bitch! I just straight uppercut the dude. I'm like, I'm
I
fine. No, it's like
I
I'll
think he's just so. You find him so pathetic.
even
He's
better
so
though.
pathetic. I can't bring myself to do it.
It's even better though because I was like, I'll climb a little bit. It's like, yeah, run. That's what I thought. I'm like, I was gonna leave you alone. Then I climb all the way. You know the effort it takes to climb back down the ladder, jump back over, and you're like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna knock you out. I don't need you walking where I go. Boom. And I thought logistically better to have him knocked out, and then so that was the last he saw of Bruce before Batman came into the picture. So that way there's a little like there's no loose ends. That's my thing.
I my thing. I always think because I don't. I just look at him. He's like, who knew? All my people have beat up. I'm just like, he's not going to go around if he wants to be taken seriously as a Batman villain. He's not going to go around saying he got beat up by pretty boy Bruce Wayne.
Eh. Anyway, but in either event,
Um,
and then the other thing.
his introduction to Batman, where
Oh
he just
yeah,
has the umbrella and like
yeah,
bam and
dead cop.
kills that cop who's got like the words written on his chest and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like, aren't
It's
you
so cool.
scary? You're about to find out. I'm like, oh shit. And yeah,
And then with Freeze, I love that immediately he's just like, I don't got no beef with you. I just let's figure something out that we can both work together. All right? Let's figure this out. And then eventually he does double cross you because he's a bad guy.
actually no,
Um
it's not so much he's a bad. For me, it's like it's not so much he's a bad guy, but it's like working with Batman cost him his wife. So yeah, he's gonna be pissed at you. You know, because like you don't know what kind of condition she's in. You're worried sick. You're like, if I destroy you, they'll bring her back to me. So quickest way to get from
yeah.
A to B is through you. So that's just in my head. It
Hey,
wasn't more like he's the he turned on you for the sake of he's a villain. It's just he has a more pressing matter in his on his mind, which is his wife. So
and to be fair, like awesome boss fight comes out of
Oh
it. So I'm not
hell
even
yeah!
complaining.
One of the best boss
Um,
fights. The best boss fight.
I think it. Ah, man, it's. I would have to sit down and do like a like give it some thought, but it would be for sure in like my top 5 boss fights of all time.
Oh yeah.
On hard, on normal, it's a little lackluster just because you only
Yeah.
have to do it the 3 times.
Not even the three.
But
It's like 4 or 5. Like 4 times, I think. 5 if it's
I think
on.
it.
I'll have to
Well,
go
on
back.
hard, you have to do like all of them.
Well, New Game Plus, you have to do all of them too. So.
But regardless, um, like that's so cool. But we'll get there. We'll get there
Yeah, we'll
when
get
we
there.
get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah. So fast forward a bit. Let's see what we got. What else we got there? So you go.
So after that, the ninja Talia's ninja breaks out.
Oh yeah. So it's like Penguin's in a glass case. He's in a thing. And then yeah, the ninja's assassin, Talia's assassin, kind of breaks us like, "You are not worthy to speak the name of the great Ra's al Ghul." She kind of trails off. It's like, well, I got father's blood now. That sucks.
It's like, oh yeah, Arkham. We're going back to Arkham Asylum roots.
Yeah. I'm just happy it didn't flip through like a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm just happy one detective mode solves all. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I this does lead to one of my really only criticisms of this game, which
Robin.
is when you get to the end of the blood trail and stuff, Robin shows up to beat up the assassin, give you the line launcher, and then you're like, Joker sent blood to a bunch of hospitals. You go take care of it. It's like, no, Bruce, I'm gonna stick around because this is a clearly a big deal. This is a big deal. I should be here. I am Tim Drake, and I have the coolest Robin suit ever because it has a hood.
So does Damien's.
This was before. This was.
Damien's not even in the game. Any of these.
No, he's not in the game. He's not in any of the games. Should have been, but
He should have been Arkham Knight, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
we'll get to that when we get to that. He should have been. You're right.
Yeah, there's a whole conversation there.
I'm #1 fan right here.
Yeah.
But Tim Drake's Robin suit, because I remember when I first saw him, when you first saw the promotional material for him, it's the black and white. He's got the hood down and the shaved head, and he's got, like just standing there like, oh yeah. And I'm like, this is the most badass Robin has ever looked.
Yeah.
Since maybe Chris.
Since when?
I was making a Batman and Robin joke.
Oh no, you cut out, so I couldn't hear you, so I didn't even know what you said.
Oh, I said Chris O'Donnell. It's like
we talking Forever badass... or Batman and Robin?
It doesn't matter. He's bad both ways.
Actually, it does, because it's Batman and Robin's basically Nightwing with a cape. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like if you look at it that way.
But Robin shows up. Batman's like, hey, I know I could talk to Jim Gordon about this, could talk to Alfred about this. They could probably coordinate something on the outside and like figure out where all this blood's going. But you, Tim, you go deal with it.
Well, here's another thing. If you listen to, and I'm going to rewind a bit, if you listen to the GCPD, their radio wave, you hear that all the inmates that are in Arkham City are not all the criminals in Gotham. So there's still crime going on in Gotham. So he still needs to be there. Because Gordon actually says, if we take in anyone else, do not take them to Asylum, do not take them to Arkham City, to have them in the holding cells in GCPD.
Yeah.
So there's still crime.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying logically, there's still a need for Robin to be out there.
But all the supervillains are in Arkham City, except for Black Mask, who keeps breaking out.
Yeah, so
I love that he there.
I mean, and friggin', we saw Killer Croc too, so Killer Croc could be roaming around in friggin' the thing too. So you know,
I guess. Okay, you know
there
what?
there there are people
Yeah,
who are MIA in this game who are probably out in Arkham or in Gotham City. They're just waiting to tear shit up.
yeah. You know what? And I get it because it's a single player game. We can't suddenly introduce Robin there,
Not
but
until
it's
not until Arkham Knight, but just saying.
yeah, yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
You're like,
May,
that's fine. The game's still shit, but that's fine.
that's fine. That's fine. I don't care. But it's so cool, and this leads. But after this, it leads to one of the weirder parts of the game where it turns out there was an underground city, underground Gotham the entire time.
Yeah, it's like, and then they talk about it too. It's
And it's
like
like, okay,
they didn't repave any of our. I mean, they didn't rebuild Gotham. They just paved over the old one and built on top of it.
yeah, I
Which I think is
I always
canon too.
loved going down there.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun.
Sorry.
Which I was saying, which I think is canon as far as Gotham's concerned. I'll have to look that up, or if they just made up
Yeah,
for it something.
I think that's just an Arkham thing, but it's so cool the idea of this like secret underground city. Now, the fact that there are like robots from the 30s down there, a little like but I love that whole idea, and I love having to like find the video camera and it's like, okay, she went through this wall, but how did she open the wall?
Oh, by the way, how much of a pain in the ass was it trying to find those damn robots?
So hard. Like too much. Too
It's like
much of a pain in the ass.
I would search. I would literally look in circles, go as high as I thought I could, and then there's like that one extra room like on top. I'm like, I will get to you in a second.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love just like the subtle world building they
Oh
do
yeah,
there and stuff. By just like you see all the old stuff and you're like, this is cool.
yeah. I
And
love.
then leading into the fact that Ra's al Ghul just has a Lazarus pit right there.
Oh no! And if you listen to it, if you pay attention to it, it literally says Wonder City is based on Lazarus technology, and you see this green like liquid flowing through these clear pipes. I'm like, oh. So
I always Wonder City, if
ah,
you did Roz, was there already a Lazarus pit there, or did he import Lazarus water? And like, because there's all those like those tubes and stuff. So I always got the impression that this was not a naturally formed Lazarus pit. This was
um,
something that Roz created.
I mean, if you were to carbon date it, I mean, it's kind of hard to build things around. Like, well, not that hard to build it around, but it's like I think of Batman Endgame, the storyline. There's this one little pool of this,
The Dionysium.
yeah, which is exactly what the Lazarus Pit is. That's already in Gotham, so they just kind of built around it and used it for like technology, energy sources, or whatever, and it just still happens to be there. He just added a little magic tech to it, and then made it
Yeah. Okay.
not good. But that's just my spin on
I
it.
love as you're I we haven't talked about this much at all, but when you meet Joker for the first time and he poisons you, it
Oh,
really all comes to a head here where
oh yeah.
you're like, I'm almost there. You're trying to get into Roz's thing,
You're like
and
you're
you start
crawling.
having like flashes.
Yeah, and it's like even it's like you literally see the light, and you see Thomas and the silhouettes of Thomas and Martha Wayne, and you're like, oh my god, is Batman gonna die now? It's like I can't die now. I have full health. I have armor. Gosh darn it! I should not be dying. You know. But then he's
Yeah,
just he gets up and then he just limps, essentially just limps to meet Talia, and goes on.
yeah.
Oh,
And you get the illusion here that they have been together after that one night in Metropolis. Should have called
yeah.
me.
If that,
Damian Wayne Cannon. He's out there.
or at least a heretic. Now that would have been good. and I'm gonna get off on this in like 2 seconds. If they had the Heretic as Arkham Knight, that would have made perfect sense. That would have been just fine.
Oh, that would have been so cool because there would have been so much setup with the fact that Batman let Talia die.
Thank
Oh,
you. And I just thought about that, and I was like, I don't want to lose this thought because I know I'm gonna lose this thought by the time I get to playing it.
yeah.
But whatever. It just popped in my head. I was like, oh, that would be so cool. Anyway, getting back on track here. So
No.
the
I love. Go ahead.
I was gonna say just fast forwarding a bit here. The Roz trials, that was annoying. Not so much annoying, but they were like, AR training was fun. It was a bit better.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the fact that VR training exists kind of took the wind out of these trials and stuff,
Wait, did I say VR or
where it's like
AR?
you said AR, I said VR.
Okay.
But the fact that those like gliding trials existed kind of takes the wind out of Roz's, takes the specialness away from Roz's trial because you're like, this is just an AR challenge dressed up real pretty.
It's just
But it was
Superman.
still, I still enjoyed it personally.
Yeah, I mean it's just a better version of Superman 64, but we're not talking about that.
Um, Now, where the trials I think were a little bit of a letdown, I think Roz's fight
Oh
was
my gosh.
awesome.
Oh yeah. But here's the sad
Uh,
thing though. When it came to that fight, whenever I knew I was in the clear, I just kept spamming friggin' the quick electronic thing. I was like,
yeah, yeah,
I was like, okay, we're good. I beat it like that quick. I felt so bad.
yeah. I gotta say though, you see like the beginnings
Oh
of
yeah.
the Deathstroke fight in this boss fight
Oh
where Roz
yeah.
jumps in, you're like, choo, 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 choo.
You
And
have to get on it. Yeah.
I love that before this boss fight starts, Roz is like all old and like, I'm dying, Batman. Come be the new Ra's al Ghul. And it just falls backwards into the Lazarus pit. And then you're like, oh, it's on.
Oh yeah.
It's on.
Yeah. It's like his
Um,
tattoos start glowing. Oh, it's trouble.
yeah. But then it leads to the weirdest part of the game where it introduces you to the reverse Batarang. And you're like, well, clearly, this is going to be an important gadget that will be useful and will uh, be important to the story. Literally, I don't know if anyone in the. I challenge you to find someone who used it outside of there and it worked. And if you say you found someone or you did it, you're lying.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, it's
Yeah.
just such a weird sequence
Mechanic.
of events, and it's
Yeah.
hard. There's no quick way to do it, right? So,
Right. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah. So we fast forward, and then there's the freeze fight, which we've already talked about at length, so we can just kind of skip over that. Um.
uh, I'll say though, again, so good,
Oh yeah,
so good that,
so good, so good.
especially when you're playing on hard and you start because you have to start thinking like,
Oh yeah,
what haven't I done yet?
yeah.
What?
That and it took me a second to catch on. Like you had to find new ways to beat him when I first played it. I was like, all right, I'll do the whole great thing, like all ice. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. Oh well, I'll just sneak up behind him, boof, as that like afterburner. Oh, can't do that. Well, I'll just go on the gargoyles. Can't do that. Gargoyles are frozen to
Yeah.
begin with. And you're like, well, shit.
And Mr. Freeze, I think, is my favorite Batman rogue.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. One
like,
of definitely one of.
getting to see him do all this is just so cool. Now, he's a little weird that he has all this situational stuff available to him, like afterburners.
Yeah.
Yes, but
I
super
mean,
cool.
you
Super
want?
cool.
I mean, you want to talk situational? How about those electric wires in water? You just press the big
That's
red
just
button, and you just like, and you're just done.
that is just an OSHA. That's a nightmare. That is not up to the code. Who's
Yeah.
leaving this out?
Also,
I don't.
one thing I'm mad I didn't get the chance to try to do was that ceiling takedown
Mm-hmm.
which is like the easiest thing to do. You gotta like lead him around with the footprints, and then you gotta
Yeah.
quickly go over, get on top, and then make sure you're not standing on the freaking railing. Otherwise, you're gonna slip, and it's not gonna work, and you look like a fool.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
But it's also really cool, and I know we're gonna move on from this in a
Yeah.
second. It's so cool that he taunts you about it if you try and do it again. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm fucking too smart for that."
It's like, you
And it's like,
thought this would work on me again, Batman? Good luck. I'm like, okay.
it's
And
so cool.
yeah, in New Game Plus, he will track you via the friggin' detective mode.
Yeah, which is like
I'm like, what the
so cool.
hell?
And I think
Yeah.
they took all. I think in both Origins and Night, the games that came after this, they took a lot of stuff from the
Oh yeah.
Freeze boss fight
Oh yeah.
and started divvying it up to people because you
Yeah.
start finding in Night you get the guys who are like tracking you via detective mode, or I think and all the boss fights are better off because Mister Freeze exists.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. But one thing that you really start tripping balls about, which I think is kind of a prelude to Arkham Knight, is when you start beating the piss out of friggin' Freeze's face, and after like 4 or 5 presses of the square or whatever button it is for you on the inferior console, um, it just
I'm
becomes.
doing this right now, man.
I love pressing that button, no pun intended, because it's always like right there. I'll probably press it at least once per thing. Okay, so whatever. So whatever button it is for you, I don't care. Your things.
It's X.
Oh, whatever. Well, good for you. My ex actually does things. Um. Anyway, the square button. It's like
It's your
you start
dodge button.
whatever. You keep punching him in the face. He turns into friggin' Joker. His head turns into Joker's
Yeah,
head. I was like, bruh, you are tripping balls. You know?
so cool.
Yeah, so cool.
And oh, man, like
And
the
then
whole thing. And then even after you finish beating him up, he's just like, "I'm so sorry. I was
yeah,
doing it for Nora."
yeah, and he's apologetic, which I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm like, "You, oh, Mister Freeze, I can't say mad at you. You want me to go
Yeah,
find your wife? I'll go find your wife.
yeah. It's like I will find her, Freeze. I was like, you better.
I'll find her."
Oh, God damn it! It's Batman, not General Zod. Calm your tits.
I'll
Okay.
find her.
God. I was waiting for something like that. I'm like, give it a second. I figured you were really gonna go bail or you're just gonna whisper it. I was like, whatever, it's fine.
I couldn't imagine what it must be like having someone repeat a dumb joke over and over on a podcast. Like maybe saying like a God of Mischief's name like every 17 seconds. But I couldn't imagine what that's like.
It was that one time and that one time only, that one episode, because I was just so bored. Not with the conversation, I was just bored, in a weird mood.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
getting back to this. Let's see. So we went from Freeze, which by the way gave you your first real clue, or your second real clue if you listened to the voicemails, of what the end game of this was, what the end of this was gonna like lead to. Because you had the photocopied Joker, which was like on a page, and you had the actual Joker card. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it threw me through a loop. I was like, what? I don't get it. And then it's like the next thing after this, I think, was like your Joker fight, air quotes, your Joker and Goons fight,
Yeah.
which was a pain in the neck for me because you had
I
Abramovich
will.
and you had the Titan and you had Joker. But here's the funny thing. Here's the cool thing about Joker. That first reveal, that first show of the twist, was like messed up Joker applying like the lipstick or whatever the crap, and then turn around,
Yeah.
he's just fine. He's just done. He's good. I'm like,
And at that point, you're like, he has the cure. Batman's dead. I
yeah,
don't know how Batman's coming back from this.
yeah. And then it's a whole the way they did it was just beautiful. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
It was just great. And then it's like that last. Are we gonna talk about this fight or you just want to skip over it? Because there's not.
No,
much...
we can talk about this because it ends with the ending of this fight is Talia showing up and be like, "Hey, Joker, you want to be Ra's al Ghul?"
It's like I can give you the secret to immortality. He goes, no, he'd be unstoppable. It's like, you mean she's telling the truth? It's like, way to save face, Batman.
To be fair, at that point, he was getting crushed under a bunch of rocks. He didn't know Catwoman would put down the money and come save him.
I didn't.
No, neither did I. I don't know anyone who did as Catwoman. They were like, oh no, she's leaving.
Yeah,
She
she's
is
done.
getting the hell out of Dodge.
But I love that if you did, you sat through like the game's over and then you heard the credits like, everyone's dead. I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah. It makes you feel bad.
For like, oh, 2 seconds, then I do it again.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is my ending. I want this to happen. I guess in your case that would be good because then Arkham Knight wouldn't happen, but whatever.
I don't I I don't hate it. It's just I got a lot of problems. I
We'll
got a
get
lot of biggest problems.
we'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. What's it called? Going on.
Is next is or did we skip Hugo Strange?
Oh no, Hugo Strange is at like the end. But one thing we did skip was friggin' Catwoman trying to get Poison Ivy's help for getting into the what's it called?
The Tiger Guard facility and stuff.
Yeah.
Or
The
base operations.
confis com confiscation vault thing.
Yeah.
The place where they put contraband.
Yeah. So messed up. Ivy's like, you better do it, Harley. Or not Harley, Selena. And
like,
then
you killed
get
them
there,
all. No,
you
it's
get
like,
through all the
no, it's like it's even funnier because it's like even before that she goes, "You killed them all." It's like they were just plants. I'm like, do you not know who you're talking to?
This is she is literally green. She is a green person.
Which reminds me, which brings up another thing I didn't really like for the first like 2 games. Why does Poison Ivy look like she got her face did before all this? Like she got like that eyeshadow going on, that like real shiny lipstick. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense if someone's being like plant wise, because then they.
Well, it's all natural makeup. It's all like plant-based,
I don't know.
organic stuff.
It just didn't sit well with me, which I'm kind of happy they fixed at night. But we'll get there when we get there. It's just something I
Yeah.
just thought about because it was bothering me for a second. Let's see. But after this, so we fast forward. Selena comes in, lifts the rubble, and there's a nice little exchange of barbs that happened at the courthouse. Because it looked like you needed help. It's like, you're right. I think I chipped a nail back there. You leave the quips to me.
That's so true, though, and it's so why the two of them should be married. They should be married. Why aren't they married? Why aren't they married, Tom King?
I was about to say, because Tom King got his comic run cut short.
Why?
Because it was, no, it's a whole other conversation we can have as B.
All right,
It's fine.
so do you want to go? So Hugo Strange?
Yeah, and I love the fact that it's like everyone's put. Oh, I stop at this point real quick. Everyone's pushing Bruce to be like, no, take care of Protocol 10 first, then go save Talia. That's
Yeah.
It's like, no, I have to do this. She is out of her. Like he's panicking for her, which I appreciate, which is good because
Yeah.
it shows like how much of a threat Joker is to Batman. Number one, number two, how much he kind of cares for Talia because
He really does.
yeah, it's like in a little peek at Arkham Knight here. When you go to Talia's thing, he literally just puts his hand on, going, like he pays like tribute for a second. He goes, "I'm sorry." I'm like, "Oh, dude." But you got Catwoman.
Man.
No, you good. You
And-
straight. You straight. You good. You know. You got options, brother. You got options. You fine.
It Protocol 10 also as like a thing that's been going through the game as like 7 hours until Protocol 10 was so cool because while you're playing through it, it's like, what is Protocol 10?
Yeah.
And you kind of get in your head that it's going to be some kind of extermination of all the bad guys, but you're like, or it could be that all the doors open and everyone's free.
Yeah. It's like another thing I thought was funny because it's like in the beginning they tease it's like Protocol 10, Poison Gotham. I expected more. Joker just goes, Protocol 10? Never heard of it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, even he don't know. Okay. Which could have told you that he gonna kill everybody. Everybody gonna die. It's like no one's taking out this thing alive.
Yeah. So the Hugo being manipulated by Ra's al Ghul
I wasn't.
is
I was gonna say it wasn't so much that he was manipulated. It was more so much that he was trying to prove himself. So it wasn't so much manipulation as more of a call it an interview or a try.
job. Yeah.
Yeah,
This was an audition.
yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah. I really liked that. And I think I think the idea of Hugo Strange having the aspirations at the end and his keyword to like blow everything up, which essentially kills Ra's al Ghul, is like it's Bruce Wayne
No,
and stuff.
it's Protocol 11 passcode Wayne. Is what it was.
There we
It
go.
was
Yeah, that's
so
what
good.
it is. And I think that's so cool because it shows Hugo Strange's character, and he is a man of conviction, if
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah. And I love that even Roz is like, Protocol 11. It's like, what are you doing? It's like,
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, cool. But yeah. So fast forward to
Yeah.
this. Friggin' Joker. He's like, if you would be so kind, just hand me my cure and we'll have a good day. It's like, but you have already had the cure. And then Talia stabs him in
Yeah.
the back. Stabs him right through. Then he's putting it together. He goes, Talia, no! And then it's like, boom, dead. It's like,
That
no.
reveal is so cool.
Yeah.
And the fact that Batman, this is one of the few instances where Batman actually fails at
Yeah.
something.
And
Like,
he's like,
he
he didn't
too
pick
slow.
up. Yeah, he was just shy of solving this
Yeah.
before everything else, which was so good. And then the Clayface thing happens. I'm like, I'm not too fond of the Clayface boss battle, honestly.
Now, I think it's a cool thing thematically and as like a part of the story that Clayface was pretending to be Joker the entire time.
Oh no, I don't doubt that. That's fine. I'm talking about the boss fight itself. He just turns into a big ball of clay. No,
Yeah.
pun
Oh
intended.
yeah.
Big ball just rolls right into dynamite. I'm like, aren't you gonna turn on your own axis and kind of avoid that? But that's just me, because he can see where he's going.
Yeah. I do like though that you start using a sword
Oh yeah.
and Batman slicing fools. I do really like that. And I'm sorry, but we have to wrap this up. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to.
I'm trying to go through as fast as possible.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, give you a nod.
After the boss fight, I love that Joker starts freaking out because like Clayface essentially, and with the electrocution thing, destroys the Lazarus pit down there. And so Joker no longer can be immortal. And then he just comes up and he stabs Batman in the shoulder. And it's like, ah!
It's like, I save you, people die, I throw you in jail, you only break out and do it again. It's a running gag. And it's just like he drops the thing. It's like, are you happy now? It's like, do you want to know something funny? After everything you've done, I would have saved you. I'm like, dude. And you hear like, that actually is pretty funny. And then he just dies with that smile on his face. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
First off, nightmare fuel. Second off, dude.
Just so sad the
Oh, yeah.
way that Batman carries him out. And Gordon is just, as the sirens are blaring, is just like, what happened in there? What happened? Batman doesn't say a word. He just puts him down on the thing.
He puts him down on the hood of a cop car and just kind of grapples off. He's done.
Yeah.
I was like, dude. And I would get into like the epilogue, if you will, of this, which would be Harley's Revenge, but we don't have the time. We'll talk about Arkham Knight and DLC later.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. So
On Hero's Time.
Yeah, Hero. You said it right. Hero's third time. Good job.
I'm learning.
Okay, good.
What's greatest to take?
Yeah, and I'm trying to learn your name's not Dan. It's Dave. I'm still trying to learn.
Oh, Travis, you do care.
I'm trying, and it's fine because I don't think I've said your name once today, which
You have not. I'm
once
Dave.
is
I'm Dave, the Dragon Lees. Follow me here at Lees Me Alone.
yeah. That's kind of why I said it because I know if I did, I would just instinctively say Dan because I know I'm trying to say Dave. It would just be a really bad thing. I'm like, let's get right
Yep.
into this. We'll just skip all that intro stuff. We'll just do it later. But yeah.
So, closing thoughts on Arkham City. I think this is the peak of the entire series.
Oh yeah, no
I
doubt.
think everything is firing on all cylinders. I think the gameplay is superb. It's stepped up to a level without nothing feel except for the reverse batarang. Nothing feels superfluous. Everything makes sense. I think all the characterization, everyone in the story is fan freaking tastic, and I really appreciate that the story is not treating you like you're stupid. It
Right.
is it's leaving those breadcrumbs out for you to find, and if you figure it out, you figure it out as Batman does,
Yeah.
and which is I think really cool.
Yeah. Um, my whole thing is a lot of characters felt wasted, and we've talked about this at length before. We'll probably get into it as it's kind of like pick up where we left off here as far as Arkham City goes, because this could be that's why this was a whole episode in and of itself, and even then we can still do this much longer. I'm not
Oh
trying
yeah.
to, yeah, I'm not trying to keep your time. We got like 4 minutes left before we gotta wrap this up here. So it's like, which is like I said, we're probably gonna do like a part two of this specific game, and then just kind of wrap up everything else over there. Um, I was a sucker for the suits because those were always fun.
Batman Batman Beyond for life.
Eh. But one thing I would say, this one quick thing about the suits, and then we're gonna wrap this up here. Which, by the way, you can follow me at TheRyanCrossProject right over here, everywhere except on Twitter, which is at TheRyanC, because Twitter, 4 letters, whatever. I said the joke about 1 million times. Anyway, um, so the one thing that's funny when it came to the suits, because one of my favorites now I'm finding I have two favorite suits. I have the Dark Knight Returns, which is my favorite, and then I have the Sinestro Corps Batman suit, which is
That's
cool.
a cool suit. That's a
Yeah,
cool suit.
I have those two, and so I'm playing this as like through that on like New Game Plus or whatever that crap. And this is funny. I'm playing in the Sinestro Corps suit, and my stepbrother's like, "Do you get the abilities of the suit?" And I'm like, "No, it's just aesthetics." He goes, "What's the point of it?" It looks badass, and it doesn't
That's
damage. So I'm like, get out of here with your nonsense. You know. But yeah, that's it for me. We will be picking this
oh,
up probably. You go ahead.
one last thing. Best thing to mess around with, big
Yes.
head mode. You can turn big head mode on with the suits. It's awesome.
Yeah, I have not gotten that far yet. I probably will, but more than likely, probably. Uh, but yeah, that's it for everybody here at the Ryan Cross Project. Thank you for watching, and Dave, thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you next week as we wrap this up with, I guess, part two of Arkham City. If we have any additional thoughts, and we will be going into Arkham Knight.
Oh,
Um,
Tank Simulator 2016.
what?
I'm just calling it a tank simulator because that's all a Batmobile is.
We will get
All
there.
right.
We will get there. We will get there. Now we'll talk. We will see you guys next time when we enter. Well, when we leave the portal of the time. Bye. I've
All
got
right,
to.
and I got to go.
I know. That's why I was trying to
Peace.
wrap it up. Peace. That was funny. Okay. So now that we're done with that, I have got to go and stop this recording. So that's it. Peace, guys.